We live in a time where the past isn't just remembered, it's sold to us, wrapped in sleek packaging that promises authenticity through imitation. Nostalgia has become a design language, a visual shortcut used by brands to bypass the noise of innovation and tap into something familiar. A retro-styled coffee machine doesn't brew better espresso, but it feels warmer. Like your grandmother's kitchen. It evokes memory without history. This isn't about remembering. It's about feeling connected through that looks analog, or an app with a hand-drawn font and paper textures. These are not accidents. They're calculated, choices designed to make you feel like you're touching something human in an increasingly automated world. We crave authenticity so fiercely that we trust a filter over first-hand experience. The illusion is polished until it gleams, while the reality underneath fades into obscurity. Nostalgia in design is not about the past. It's about the present's inability to feel real. When we are surrounded by perfection and endless novelty, brands offer a false comfort. The warm glow of memory that never actually existed for us. What they sell isn't history. It's emotional shorthand. A visual cue becomes a stand-in for lived experience, and in doing so, it steals our ability to trust what is real.
The earliest film development processes were both alchemical and artistic. Photographies manipulated light-sensitive emulsions with intuition as much as science, laying the foundation for cinema's vision.
Roland Barthes described photography as a window into something that once was, but not quite what is. He called it having been there, a truth claim wrapped in an illusion of presence. The photograph does not convince by magic or artifice, but by the quiet force of its mechanical records. In Camera Lucida, he argues that this kind of image bypasses language, code, and connotation to deliver a raw sense of memory. But what if we no longer need real memories, only their look? What happens when brands begin? Barthes made a distinction between studium, the general interest in an image, and punctum, that sharp detail which pierces us personally. Today, product design weaponizes both. A faded logo on a phone case gives it studium. The cracked texture of its forks. Leather surface becomes punctum. These are not just visual choices. They're emotional triggers engineered to simulate history we never lived through. Brands don't need to be old. They only need to look like they have been.
We have a new human being, and that's Chris Potter of Memetics Corporation, a new synthesizer, the Yamaha DX100, and a new computer, the Commodore Amiga.
Neil Postman warned us that Technopoly isn't just about gadgets. It's a system where technology rewrites cultural values. What he didn't foresee was how nostalgia would become the glue, holding this world together. By wrapping new tech in old aesthetics, we're not simply looking back. We are being conditioned to trust what is unfamiliar by making it look familiar. The design of our digital tools doesn't just reflect history, it fabricates a past that never existed. It's less about authenticity and more about packaging as visually striking and creatively designed is an early version of what modern nostalgia design does, not just to protect a product, but to sell its soul. Fox grain filters on smartphone apps or analog style interfaces for cloud storage services don't just mimic old tech. They make it easier to trust the new. We're not in love with progress anymore. We're reassured by the ghosts of yesterday's tools, even if those tools were never real. This calculated aesthetic is not just surface level, it's ideological. It reshapes our idea of what authentic even means in an era where nothing truly belongs to the present or past, but exists as a curated artifact of some eternal moment. The effect, a kind of cultural amnesia, where we're trained to feel at home with whatever is sold back to us, stripped of context and repackaged as heritage. We don't just consume nostalgia, we become complicit in its design.
Modern packaging does more than wrap and hold and conceal. Stunning in color, ingenious in design.
Today, AI is not just replicating human flaws, it's weaponizing them for nostalgia. Brands use algorithms to produce Fox, handwritten notes, grainy photo filters, and MIDI files that mimic the unevenness of a live performance. These aren't errors, they're calculated imperfections designed to trigger warm, false memories. What used to be an artisan's fingerprint is now a machine-generated texture applied in milliseconds. In 1986, the Amiga computer could already create music that pretended to be human. Fast forward to now. AI tools like Nano Banana and Gemini don't just simulate handwriting or texture. They construct entire emotional memories out of data. What was once a laborious effort in analog design is now an automated loop. Detect nostalgia's signals, spoof them, repeat,